Hi everyone! World War II ended 75 years ago, but to this day lots of military artifacts remain in the ground and water. In this video we'll show you the most incredible World War II finds. T-34 tank. In 2013, a broken T-34-76 tank was found in Ukraine in the Zhytomyr region. The T-34 is a Soviet medium tank of the Second World War period, produced in series since 1940. It was the main tank of the Red Army until the first half of 1944, when the troops received a new modification of T-34 with an 85mm gun. In this tank, the ammunition exploded and the combat vehicle was torn apart. Only the turret was intact, which was torn off by the explosion and thrown dozens of meters away. The huge crater from the explosion is still visible in the tall grass. The turret was deep in the ground and the military asked local residents to help with the excavation. After that, the artifact was lifted by an armored vehicle BTR-80 using a cable. A floating tank turret. In the spring of 2020, Russian diggers conducted excavations in the Ural region, at the site of the breakthrough of the German defense by Soviet troops in 1943. More than 30 Red Army soldiers and officers were raised. The identity of several men was established. But an unexpected find was waiting for searchers at a depth of 2.5 meters. It was a T-38 floating tank turret. Apparently, the tank crossed the river and continued to attack the German fortifications, but was completely destroyed by a large-caliber shell or an aerial bomb. Now this find will go for restoration and may be used to restore the whole tank. A cache in the ground. A few years ago, an interesting find was discovered by searchers in the Kaliningrad region. After the end of World War II, the German city of Königsberg was transferred to the jurisdiction of the Soviet Union on October 17, 1945, and renamed Kaliningrad in 1946. In 1945, when Soviet troops approached, many local residents hid their property and retreated with the German troops. They hoped to return after the war and dig up their belongings. Diggers were able to find one of these caches. It was made in an iron barrel and is perfectly preserved. The most valuable thing in this find was a large amount of silverware, spoons, forks, knives, sugar tongs, and other items. Of course, the entire find was shared among the friends. A German bomber. In 2018, divers found a sunken World War II bomber off the coast of Crimea. Heinkel German medium bomber, one of the main bombers of the Luftwaffe. There were also modifications of torpedo bombers and attack aircraft. In total, more than 7,600 copies of different modifications were built, which makes this aircraft the second most popular bomber in Germany in World War II. This one lies at a depth of 45 meters. It was shot down by Soviet P-39 Air Cobra, which were supplied to the USSR under the Lend-Lease program. The German pilot managed to land the plane on the water. Of the 5 crew members, only the navigator managed to survive. In 2000, he came and tried to find out something about the bomber. but after learning that the plane hasn't yet been found, he flew back. At the moment, the plane ascent is not planned, as there is a great risk of destruction of the bomber's hull. KV-1. On the night of November 16, 2011, a unique engineering operation to lift the KV-1 tank from the bottom of the Neva River was completed. The KV-1 was produced from August 1939 to August 1942. It took part in the war with Finland and World War II. The museum staff found out that at the end of November 1941, the Leningrad front moved 20 KV tanks, 10 T-34s and 16 light tanks to the bridgehead on the left bank of the Neva River. The KV-1 heavy tank, with the serial number M5200, being the part of the 2nd Tank Battalion of the 123rd Tank Regiment, was on the list. The tank had almost empty ammunition, only about 10 shells and several discs for the DT machine gun left. It became clear that the tank participated in the battle. Also, there were traces from the shell hits, and the gun barrel was damaged. The tank was delivered to the museum, and its disassembly and restoration began on the same day. After sandblasting the tank body, its factory number was read. According to the documents, it was found out that the crew of this tank destroyed 3 German tanks, and when the gun barrel was damaged, rammed another Nazi tank, disabling it. After, it was evacuated from the battlefield and had to go for repairs. But when crossing to the other side of the river, the tank fell from a pontoon and sank. In 2015, the tank was completely restored. One of the tankmen of this company was also found and was invited to the ceremony to complete the restoration. He personally knew the crew of this tank and participated in the battles near Leningrad together with them. Unfortunately, the veteran passed away in 2018. Nowadays, the tank is involved in World War II battles reenacting and filming films. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss new videos.